Hello, this is the first year advising presentation for students who are majoring in one of the engineering majors under the College of Engineering here at UTA. This is being presented by the UAEC, which stands for the University Advising and Engagement Center, which houses the first year advising team. We've got advisors for every major that UTA offers, and we advise most students who are new to college and new to UTA. The point of this presentation is to introduce to you the advising processes, help you understand what goes into advising, which classes we will recommend for you to take, and we will also equip you with the resources on how to enroll into these classes. By the end of this presentation, you should have the tools you need to be prepared for registration and navigate your degree moving forward. Something that I would like to clarify is that every semester you will receive an academic advising hold on your MyMav account, and it will prevent you from enrolling into classes until you meet with your advisors. At UTA, we do things a little differently. With so many students coming in, we can't always see or have one-on-one meetings with everybody. So we have presentations like this, the Canvas course, and even group advising to count as your meetings with advisors. These ways will help you get your advising hold removed. So by viewing this presentation, we will then remove your advising hold and send you the appropriate classes for you to register into. But once you begin your semester and moving on, we will then invite you to come in and have one-on-one sit downs with us so we can talk about how the semester is going, how to prepare for registration, talk about any other questions or concerns you may have, and equip you with certain resources and tools you will need to continue. This will continue throughout your time at UTA, so let's go ahead and get started. For starters, we want to make sure that you're in the right place. So on the screen are the 12 engineering majors that UTA offers, and they're split between different departments. The Department of Biomedical Engineering houses biomedical engineering, which is split into two tracks, tissue engineering and medical imaging. You are not going to have to select which track you are interested in within biomedical engineering until about your third or fourth semester, maybe even your fifth semester. So at the very beginning, in the initial phases of this degree, all the classes are identical. The Department of Civil Engineering houses civil engineering, architectural engineering, and construction management. The Department of Computer Science and Engineering has computer science, computer engineering, and software engineering. The Department of Electrical Engineering has electrical engineering and resource and energy engineering. The Department of Industrial Engineering has industrial engineering. And the Department of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering has aerospace and mechanical engineering. If you are not seeing your major on this video, I strongly recommend you pause this presentation and you email us at uaec@uta.edu. To let us know that you did not receive the correct presentation, let us know what your major is, and we'll correct the mistake, and we'll assign you new advisors after this presentation. I recommend that you scan the QR code on the screen because the video is not going to play, but it's less than 2 minutes long, and it will show you how to access your advisor and which advisor is assigned to you. But like I mentioned earlier, UTA and even the UAEC do things a little differently here. Even though MyMav is going to show that you were assigned one advisor, in reality, you will typically have a team of advisors to help you on your journey. For example, with the engineering advising team at the UAEC, you have multiple advisors to guide you throughout the journey, even though only one is assigned to you. What do academic advisors do? For one, we help you understand your goals. We help you understand your degree programs so that way you can meet those goals. We also help with making changes to your schedule, swapping your majors, connect you with appropriate campus resources such as tutoring services and mental health services. We help identify program requirements and we plan accordingly to those requirements, and we help you understand the core requirements and academic policies. What we don't do, while we are glad to help to the best of our abilities with these things on screen, it's best for you to go directly to the source, as these separate entities will have the correct access to your information needed to be as effective as possible. So for example, we can help with the basics of financial aid and scholarship questions, but we don't have access to your profile. It's always best to go directly to financial aid and scholarships, directly to housing, to the student accounts office if you need help with payments or the cost of classes and things like that, because we don't have access to that information to be effective when it comes to helping. You're beginning your journey at the UAEC. Think of us as pre-engineering advisors. We help prepare you and you'll be with us until you meet transition requirements. So we're essentially helping you establish your foundation as university students. There are two requirements that you need to meet to transition to the College of Engineering. Those two transition requirements are a 2.0 cumulative GPA, 24 credit hours completed. Let's break that down a little further. A 2.0 is essentially earning all C's in your classes. 24 credit hours is 2 semesters of being a full-time student. To be considered a full-time student, you need to be enrolled in 12 credit hours. So once you meet these transition requirements, you'll then be transitioned to the College of Engineering. But before that, we need to make sure that we're establishing that foundation and accurately advising you. Before we advise you, it's extremely important for you to make sure that you are disclosing your previously earned credit before coming to UTA, such as dual credits and transfer credits. Dual credit is earning college credit while you're in high school. Transfer credit is the same thing, except the timing is different. So transfer credit is you're taking college level credits to transfer to a different institution after high school. While your transfer credits can be listed on your high school transcripts, that's not sufficient for UTA. So you need to make sure that you're sending the official records from that institution to UTA. So if you did dual credits, make sure that you send an official transcript from that institution to UTA. If you're at a different institution right now, make sure you're sending those transcripts to UTA as soon as possible. The principle remains the same for test credits as well, with AP, IB, CLEP, Avant, A-level credits. Make sure that you're sending official score reports to UTA. We need to make sure that our advising is accurate, so that way we are accurately advising you and that you're not retaking classes that you don't need anymore. When it comes to math in engineering at UTA is a requirement. Throughout your journey, we're going to inform you and remind you about the ALEX. The ALEX is the math placement test that you need in order to place into Calculus 1, or it also just in general determines the appropriate math courses and overall courses that you get to start with. The ALEX has a direct impact on your overall registration experience. From time to time, students are exempt from the ALEX depending on their test credit and their college credit. But overall, it really determines which math you can start in. You get 5 attempts on the ALEX and each attempt are free. In between each attempt, you're going to get preparation modules to help you study to then improve your score once you retake it. If you don't take the ALEX, or if you score between a 0 and a 60, you place into college algebra. If you score between a 61 to 75, you place into pre-calculus. And if you score a 76 or better, you place into Calculus 1. If you took college algebra in your dual credit program, you immediately qualify for pre-calculus. Make sure that you send your scores to UTA or your transcripts to UTA. Overall, the goal, depending on your major, which is most majors in the engineering program, will require Calculus 1, so it's still going to be recommended you take the ALEX. If you took pre-calculus in your dual credit programs, most of the times, pre-calculus will not transfer to UTA. Best practice is to take the ALEX. You can take the ALEX multiple times. In between each attempt, it will provide study material for you to improve your score. If, let's say, you place into pre-calculus today and you retake it a couple weeks later and you place into Calculus 1, can you make schedule modifications? Absolutely, and it is highly encouraged. You can access the ALEX by Googling UTA ALEX, but we're also going to communicate with you on making sure that you take the ALEX. In order to take the ALEX, make sure that you have a device that it has a working webcam, a working microphone, and the lockdown browser because this exam is a proctored online exam. So as I mentioned earlier, the ALEX can impact your course registration. And what I mean by that is your math placement means everything for a majority of the engineering majors that we have here at UTA. So for example, for students who do not have the ALEX or scored between a 0 and a 60, this is an example for mechanical engineering students. And in this example, the student doesn't have any previously earned transfer credits. If they scored between a 0 or 60 or didn't take the ALEX, they can place into college algebra, and they're nothing but general education courses. For the student who scored between a 61 and 75 in mechanical engineering without any previously earned credits, they can place into pre-calculus, and they can also place into chemistry for engineers alongside some alongside some general education courses. For the student who scored between a 76 and a 100, you can start in mechanical engineering courses, chemistry, and your general education courses. But overall, the ALEX will have a direct impact on your registration process. Let's take a look at the Math Planner and Math Scheduler because this is what ultimately helps you with the registration process. In this example, you can go to uta.student.civitaslearning.com or access the Math Planner Math Scheduler through the MyMath. In this example, this student has disclosed that they have some previously earned transfer credit, which is right here in the fall of 2021. And they are currently taking these courses because they scored a 91 on the ALEX. They're going to now register into the spring 2026 box, which is problems in mechanical and aerospace, numerical analysis, calculus 2, physics 1, and the introduction to engineering design. So they're going to then press the schedule button, and it's going to take you directly to the Math Scheduler. The Math Scheduler allows you to make some customizations. For example, in this case, the student doesn't want any breaks, they're good to go. But if you need breaks, so for example, if you need to make sure that you're dropping your little brother off at school by 7 a.m. every morning, you add that to a break and you're open to taking classes as early as 9 a.m., your break would be from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. If you think to yourself, you know what, I work after 6 p.m. every single day, so I should probably not schedule classes at that time, you would add that in your break. But overall, it's going to then generate a combination of schedules that are possible based on your breaks, and you'll be able to then send to the shopping cart and enroll into those classes. Just some barriers to registration to think about as you are preparing for your registration. The TSI can be a barrier to registration. If you have any questions about the TSI, contact tsi@uta.edu. If you're missing your transcripts or test scores, that can have an impact on your registration because we may or may not be accurately advising you. So that's why you need to disclose your previously earned credits to us to best help. The ALEX can be, as we mentioned earlier, it can have an effect on which classes you can get into. But to find other holds and how they can impact you, you can scan the QR code on the screen to learn more about the holds. As you're registering, you might see things about the wait lists. While wait lists can be helpful because it can provide a chance to get into full classes, it overall depends on the behavior of other people. In a nutshell, you need somebody to drop the class in order for you to get in, but there's no guarantees that you're going to get into the class. The lower you are on the wait list, the less likely you are to get added. So if you're number 1 on the wait list, there's a chance you get in because you maybe need 1 or 2 people to drop the class before you can get in. But if you're number 20, you need quite a bit of people to drop the class for you to get into the course. Best practice is consult an advisor on alternatives, but ultimately we'll always suggest finding an open class. Just a to-do list before next step. So make sure you've completed your advising short course, take or retake the ALEX, submit your official transcripts, check your UTA emails constantly or consistently because we will be updating you throughout, before the semester starts and throughout the semester. Address any other holds that prevent registration and register into classes right away, just because classes will fill up. To access my UTA and Canvas, you can go to the UTA website, which is uta.edu, or go to Google and type in my UTA or UTA Canvas. But if you go to the uta.edu, click on the students button in one of the corners, and you'll be able to find Canvas, my UTA, and your UTA email. You can learn more about the transition requirements that we mentioned earlier right here. You can scan the QR code on the screen, and you'll learn more about the College of Engineering and their transition requirements. Shameless plug, we do have an Instagram. You can follow us at UAEC_UTA or scan the QR code on the screen. We will not be sliding in your DMs. We won't spam you, but we will be updating our Instagram to update you on cool events going on throughout campus and other events that we will be holding ourselves to, to best reach you. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always email us at uaecengineering@uta.edu. We are glad to help and we'll get back to you as quickly as we possibly can. Overall, welcome to UTA and have a great rest of your day.